Ever wondered about the origins of our communication? We begin our journey at the dawn of mankind. Picture a world where spoken language doesn't exist yet. Our predecessors expressed thoughts and feelings through grunts, gestures, and body language. Their communication was driven by necessity, like conveying the location of prey or alerting others to a food source. Artistic expression also played a role, with cave paintings and petroglyphs serving as mediums to communicate. These were the forerunners to the written word, a method to share information across generations. Theories on the evolution from primitive sounds to complex language structures are plentiful, some suggesting imitations of sounds, others citing motherese. While there's no definitive answer, it's certain that language is social and continually evolving. In essence, our ancestors started communicating way before written language came into existence. But when did we start to write down our thoughts and stories? This is where our journey takes us next, into the birth of written language. Picture ancient Mesopotamia, around 5,000 years ago. As society grew more complex, people needed a way to keep records, to communicate across distances, and to pass on their stories to future generations. Thus was born cuneiform, one of the earliest known forms of written expression. Crafted with a reed stylus on clay tablets, cuneiform was a system of pictographs and abstract symbols that allowed scribes to record everything from business transactions to epic tales of gods and heroes. Let's travel now to the banks of the Nile, in ancient Egypt. Here, the hieroglyphic script emerged around the same time as cuneiform. Like cuneiform, hieroglyphics began as a system of pictographs. However, it evolved into a complex system of phonetic and ideographic symbols. The walls of temples and tombs were adorned with these intricate scripts, preserving religious texts and royal decrees for millennia. Our journey now takes us to ancient China, where the oracle bone script, the earliest known form of Chinese writing, was used for divination practices. The Shang dynasty's kings would pose questions to their deities, and these questions were inscribed on animal bones or turtle shells. The answers, believed to be divine messages, were then interpreted from the cracks formed when the bones were heated. These early writing systems were more than just means of communication. They were tools of power, used by the elite to exert control and maintain order. They were also instruments of faith, used to commune with the divine and understand the mysteries of existence. But they were also means of creativity, used to tell stories, to express emotions, to explore ideas. They allowed humans to transcend the boundaries of time and space, to preserve their thoughts and experiences for future generations. These ancient scripts laid the foundation for the written languages we use today. They taught us the power of the written word, a power that we continue to explore and expand in our ever-evolving journey of communication. But how did languages spread across continents and cultures? This question takes us to a crucial intersection of language and history, the rise and fall of empires. Empires, through their expansion and influence, played a significant role in shaping languages and their spread. Let's take a moment to journey back to the Roman Empire, a paramount example of how an empire can leave an indelible mark on languages. The Romans, in their quest for expansion, carried with them their language, Latin. As they conquered lands far and wide, Latin permeated through various cultures, becoming the lingua franca of the empire. However, the influence of Latin did not wane with the fall of the Roman Empire. Instead, it evolved and adapted to the regions it had reached. This evolution gave birth to a family of languages we now know as the Romance languages, which include Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, and Romanian, among others. The story of Latin and the Roman Empire is just one example. Across the globe, we can trace similar patterns. The spread of Arabic with the Islamic Caliphate, the influence of Greek during the Hellenistic period, or the propagation of English during the British Empire and beyond. Each empire, in its rise and fall, left a unique imprint on the languages of the world. These empires didn't merely introduce new words or phrases into existing languages. They influenced grammar, syntax, and even the way thoughts were expressed. They facilitated the mingling of languages, leading to the birth of new dialects, creoles, and pidgins. So, the rise and fall of empires had a profound impact on the languages we speak today. They influence not just the vocabulary, but also the structure and evolution of languages. As we continue to study and understand languages, we cannot ignore the role of empires in shaping our communication. Their legacy lives on in the words we speak, the sentences we construct, and the thoughts we express. So, the next time you say hello or goodbye, remember, you're not just speaking. You're echoing a piece of history. But what about the printed word? How did that change our communication? Let's dive into the fascinating era of the printing press revolution. Around the middle of the 15th century, a German blacksmith named Johannes Gutenberg came up with an invention that would change the course of history. This invention was none other than the Gutenberg printing press. Gutenberg's press was revolutionary because it was the first to use movable type. This meant that each letter or character was cast on a separate piece of metal, so they could be rearranged to print different texts. This innovation had a profound impact on the spread of written language. Before the advent of the printing press, books were painstakingly copied by hand, usually by monks in monasteries. This meant that books were rare and precious commodities, affordable only to the wealthy or the church. But with the arrival of Gutenberg's press, books became more accessible and affordable. This democratization of knowledge led to a significant increase in literacy rates across Europe. People were no longer dependent on the clergy or the nobility for information. They could read and learn for themselves. The printing press also led to the standardization of languages. Before its invention, written language was highly localized, with countless dialects and variations. But as books became widely available, a more standardized form of each language began to emerge. This made it easier for people from different regions to communicate and understand each other. In essence, the printing press brought about a cultural and intellectual revolution. It paved the way for the Renaissance, the Enlightenment, and the scientific revolution. It allowed ideas to spread more rapidly and widely, challenging old assumptions and sparking new thoughts. The printing press truly was a game changer in the world of communication. It set the stage for the world as we know it today. A world where ideas are as free as the wind, and knowledge is available at the click of a button. And as we look to the future, we can only wonder, what will be the next game-changing invention in the evolution of language and communication? Now let's fast forward to the present day. From the invention of the telegraph in the 19th century to the rise of the internet and smartphones in the late 20th and 21st centuries, technology has dramatically transformed the way we communicate. The telegraph, with its Morse code, gave us the ability to send messages long distances in a matter of minutes, rather than days or weeks. This was a game changer. Then came the telephone, allowing us to hear the voice of a loved one from miles away. These innovations made the world feel just a bit smaller, but nothing has shrunk our world quite like the internet and smartphones. Now we're not just sending written messages or voice calls. We're sharing photos, videos, and even live streaming our experiences. We can chat with a friend on the other side of the world as easily as if they were sitting right next to us. With these technological advances, we've seen the rise of global languages. English in particular has spread far and wide, thanks in part to the internet. It's the lingua franca of the digital age, used by millions to communicate across cultural and geographical boundaries. Social media platforms have also had a profound impact on language use. They've brought us a whole new language of emojis, hashtags, and internet slang. These new forms of communication are more than just a passing fad. They're changing the way we express our emotions, our ideas, and our identities. Yet, as we embrace these new forms of communication, it's important to remember the rich linguistic diversity of our world. There are thousands of languages, each with its own unique history and beauty. Technology can help us preserve these languages and learn from them. In this digital age, we're communicating faster and more widely than ever before. It's a thrilling time to be a part of this ever-evolving story of human language. With every tweet, text message, and emoji, we're writing the next chapter. So, where is language heading next? As we look to the future of language, we find ourselves on the precipice of uncharted linguistic territory. The world is becoming increasingly interconnected, and with that comes the rise of new global languages. While English currently holds the title as the lingua franca of the world, The future might see the emergence of other languages gaining more global prominence. Perhaps Mandarin, Spanish, or Arabic could become the new dominant languages of global communication. The future of language is not just about the rise and fall of dominant languages, it's also about the tools we use to understand each other. Enter the realm of artificial intelligence. AI has already made significant strides in translation technology, breaking down language barriers as never before. Imagine a world where you can instantly understand any language, from the intricate nuances of Japanese kanji to the click consonants of the Xhosa language in South Africa. It's a world where everyone can understand everyone else, and it's not as far off as you might think. However, the future of language isn't just about understanding, it's also about expression. As our digital universe expands, so too does our linguistic landscape. Emojis, memes, and internet slang are all modern additions to our language toolbox, helping us express emotions and ideas in novel ways. As technology advances, we might see even more innovative forms of digital expression, perhaps even transcending the boundaries of written and spoken language. But let's not forget about the languages that are in danger of being lost. The preservation of minority languages is a crucial aspect of our linguistic future. With every language that disappears, we lose a unique worldview and a rich cultural heritage. The future of language, therefore, also involves efforts to document and revitalize endangered languages, ensuring the survival of linguistic diversity. The future of language is a fascinating topic, full of unknowns and exciting possibilities. As we continue to evolve, so too will our methods of communication, forever shaping the way we connect, understand, and express ourselves. It's a journey we're all part of, and one that will continue to unfold in the years to come. We've traveled a long way in our exploration of language's evolution. From the primal grunts of our earliest ancestors, through the birth of written language in ancient civilizations, up to the interconnected web of global communication we see today. It's been a fascinating journey, hasn't it? We've seen how early humans used gestures and drawings to communicate, long before the invention of written language. The birth of writing, in civilizations like Mesopotamia, Egypt, and China, marked a significant turning point in human communication. It allowed us to record our thoughts, our history, our very essence, in a way that could be preserved and passed down through generations. Language, as we've discovered, is not a static entity. It evolved with the rise and fall of empires. The influence of the Roman Empire and Latin, for instance, is still evident in many modern languages. The advent of the printing press marked another pivotal moment in the evolution of language. This invention revolutionized the spread of written language, making it more accessible to the masses, and paving the way for the growth of global languages. In more recent times, we've seen how technology, from the telegraph to the internet, has transformed the way we communicate. Today, we can connect with people across the globe in an instant, sending messages in numerous languages, emojis, GIFs, and more. And as we look to the future, we can only speculate on how language will continue to evolve. With the rise of artificial intelligence and virtual reality, will we see new forms of communication emerge? Will we develop a truly global language? Only time will tell. Remember, every word we speak or write is part of a story thousands of years in the making. Language is more than just a tool for communication. It's a testament to our shared history, our collective wisdom, and our enduring desire to connect with one another. It's a journey that continues to unfold, and one that we're all a part of. So let's keep the conversation going, and let's keep exploring this remarkable story together. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey through the history of language. We've traveled through time, from the earliest grunts and gestures to the global communication networks of today, and we've seen how language has evolved, shaped by empires, revolutions, and technological advancements. If you've enjoyed this expedition, we invite you to help us spread the word. Like this video and share it with others who might be intrigued by the evolution of language. Don't forget to leave a comment. We always appreciate your thoughts and insights. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell so you won't miss our future videos. You can also follow us on social media to get updates and engage with our content. Stay tuned for our next video, The Secret Lives of Animals, Uncovering Extraordinary Behaviors. Until then, keep communicating and keep exploring.